think we are close to ready. Stream is online. I'm gonna copy this URL, put it over here, and over here. And I think that's pretty good. Probably close that tab and also this tab because I don't need them open. Free up some of my memory. I'll have to read that later. Okay. Wow. I think I'll turn off the music audio because I'm kind of just listening to the same song on repeat, and I'm sure that's going to get annoying to most people, and also the same YouTube problem with music. I've considered switching to a different kind of streaming service, like, it's not Picardo, is it? It might be Picardo, actually, I don't know. Because I don't think that they care as much about music. But I don't know. I've debated about it, but also, like, at the same time, I don't know how I would get, like, the same sort of, like, viewership beyond just, I don't know, posting a video, and then just having a link in the description whenever I stream. Oh, well. Okay. It's my friend Sarah. Hey. What are you doing? We played, we went outside. She's still kind of mad at me. Okay, it's working. Yay. Turn off some things before I start working because it's kind of like all over the place. Okay. And then also I think I'm going to change my light table settings because right now the previous is set to the same color as the underdrawing. That's hard to tell apart. So we'll do that, and then I also have eaten some things that I probably should not have, and also I'm having slight vision issues, so I'm going to make it darker in here, and then we'll do line art. Okay, I think I am set up. So, same rules apply as for all of my streams. Last stream I did, we had one issue where somebody was spamming the chat, so just, you know, don't spam the chat. Be courteous to your fellow YouTubers, YouTubies. Ask me questions if you like. I like answering questions. I think it's fun. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I just, you know, we had to turn the chat off for like about an hour because someone was being a jerk. But yeah, if you want to ask me questions, I like talking while I work because it keeps me from going insane. Yes. Ban wrench, yeah, you do. I'm gonna leave it like that because I just, you know, I don't have the time to try and ban people while I'm drawing. First question I see. Am I interested in Worry Cat of OF apostrophe S question mark question mark? I have no idea what that is. Oh, OCs. I mean, yeah, kind of. I don't get like super deep into like alternate universes and self-inserts and like role plays or stuff like that. Like, I've been like curious about them in the past, and I think that they're fun, but also I don't have the time really to use for that kind of adventurous play. So I don't really have any. I did make a official like government assigned warrior Sona, but I don't really use her for much of anything, and I just think she's pretty. That's all. Yeah. How long have I been animating? I've been animating since I was in 6th grade, about. It's kind of like usually where I gauge it as. Yeah, I don't know. I've been animating since I was like in 6th grade, and like I'm pretty sure that's kind of when I started, but I had that's like back in the time when I actually had Warriors OCs is in 6th grade, and so I had like an alternate universe that I like had some OCs for it, and I did a couple of small animations for, but that was a long time ago. I don't really keep up with that anymore. Oh, I need Cloudtail, because I can't see him. Boop. Boop. There he is. That's gonna be, let's change his setting to screen. That's better. Difference? No. Divide? No, it's yellow though, that's a problem. Hard light? No. Light only? I think screen is actually brighter, so I'll leave it at screen. Well, that wasn't you. She's just sitting there now. Yeah, so I had like some OCs that I did a few like short animations for, and nothing like really crazy. I just like run cycles and flight cycles because one of them had wings, and I was that cringy. So I don't know. That's like really old stuff though, and I don't have that anymore. It's locked in a drawer in my childhood home, and I don't go there anymore. Yeah. What part of doing animations do I find the most tedious? That would be cleanup work, which is what I'm doing right now. Just because it takes like so long, and I'm like kind of a perfectionist about it. So yeah. That's the answer to that. How much does TV Paint 11 cost? If you get the student version, I think it's about $500 last time I checked. Yeah, which, I mean, most of you probably fall under the student category in some way or another. Is that the cat that was in most of my Intuos? No, actually, so I don't know, my Lynx character that I used in a lot of my intros, like last year, or like my extra outros, question mark, the part at the end of my video, Lynx/Bobcat that I have, in those sections of my videos usually is, not necessarily a Warriors OC, but she's like a persona of sorts that I made up for YouTube. And I made her up like a couple of years ago. I think that was probably 2017. I think? Question mark? I would have to go back to DeviantArt and check, but just for fun, and I was like, I kind of would like to have an online persona, quote unquote, for Warriors, because at the time I was getting into the Warriors Amino, and I was like trying to think about how to like to publicly identify myself from other people And I think in Warriors slash, I don't know, art spaces, sometimes honestly the easiest way to do that is to make a persona. So I did. She doesn't really have much of a story beyond that. I did type one up when I made her, but I never actually like roleplayed her for anything. So I don't know. That's not necessarily like quote unquote her backstory. Yeah. So I just over time used her as like a stand-in character for me, and so it was kind of fun because I used a lot of my outros during the year of 2018 to like hint, wink, wink about what was going on in my life. So some things look nice and easy, some things look not so nice or easy, and that was just like a reflection of my experience at the time. Yeah, I don't know. Her name is Farron. That's all I remember about her. How old am I now? I am 26 years old, so I have been animating for a long time. Oh yeah, there's his thing. Like, I know he has like a rough. There we go. Yes. Is it still not working? That shows it's fine. My thoughts. It looks gross, but it says the health is good, so I don't know. Hard to say. Let's look down here at stream health. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Hopefully it's improved. If it's not improving, tell me, I guess. Yeah, I've noticed, at least from what I've looked into about Fire Alpaca, that it doesn't really have any sort of like sound editing or syncing capabilities, which is too bad. I don't know. That's just like all you can do about that, I guess. There are other free programs that you can look into. Krita is one that I've heard is decent. I don't know if it actually has sound syncing capabilities either, but I assume so. I think I've seen some people do lip syncing from Krita. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. There are things, though, you can do. Yeah. What is my program suggestion for beginning animators who don't know the detail controls that are on my screen right now? Also, on average, how long does it take me to do a matte part? It takes me an ungodly amount of time to do a matte part, and I have stopped counting. Yeah, I guarantee you that this part has already taken more than 100 hours, and it probably will take more than probably I want to think about to finish. So, oh, that's his tail. What am I doing? I don't know. Being unable to see anything, apparently. That's what I'm doing. As far as programs go, like, I haven't used very many that are free, which for somebody who's just starting out, like, I recommend highly trying to find something free that is, like, decent. So, again, Krita, I've noticed, has decent functions within that program. I don't know that it's, like, super robust, so you can't do, like, super long parts, but you can do animation and at least test out your ability to understand the process and how it works and do short stuff. I would try with Krita. I would try with Fire Alpaca, although I don't think Fire Alpaca is, like, super representative of animation programs. I think Krita is probably closer to something that you could pay for. And then if you are interested in, like, paying some money, I know that Clip Studio Paint has an animation option that's not severely expensive. You can try. I would look for the cheaper options first before you know, yes, I want to like buy into this hobby / job possibility in the future, and I need to learn all I can from a professional outlook. Because if you're just starting, like, you kind of just want to know if it's something that you're going to be continually interested in, and if it's not, then like that's good to know from a program that's cheap or free. That's, yeah, my advice as far as that goes. Cleanup is actually my favorite part. Coloring is the most tedious for me. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind coloring that much, especially in TV Paint. They have a special type of layer that you can deploy that's a color and texture layer, and you don't have to use the fill bucket. It's just like automatic. Basically, you just like do a single drip brush stroke and it automatically fills to the line parameters that you've drawn on top. So I actually kind of love coloring in TV Paint because it's easy, it makes sense, it's pretty quick if you know how to do it right. His butt. Okay, I'm gonna make the background like a little bit lighter because that's like nice on my eyes, but still hard to see stuff. That's better. That's easier. I don't mind that so much. That's okay. Yeah. I don't know, I just like, cleanup is like, it's the longest part of the process for me. Because I'm trying really hard to be neat and clean with my lines and make it look nice. I'm gonna turn that up to 3. Because I want this to be a little bit thicker on the bottoms. Which, as you can see, I'm redrawing the same line several times because I'm meticulously obsessive about how clean my line art is. Which, I don't know, probably I don't have to be, but also I'd very much have to be. I can't not. It's impossible. Next question. Oh. What? How would I design Maple Shade? You're doing it right now, you're dying. I actually did make a design for Maple Shade. She's up on my design blog, which I think, I don't know if it's linked to my YouTube account, but I've linked to it from my Twitter account before, which is linked from my YouTube account, so if you want to do some digging, you can find her. Yeah. Let's see here. I think this is actually her front. There. No, we're not going to do that. Back to my father's. Do I read the comments in my videos? I do. Not all of them. I usually will like pay close attention in the first like 24 to 48 hours of what everyone says. But like there gets a point where YouTube doesn't keep up with how many comments I get, and so I do miss quite a few of them, to be honest. I try to come through them all, but I don't always catch all of them. And especially if it's like been a couple of months, sometimes YouTube just like doesn't update me on like what's going on with some of my videos, so I may not see a comment on all of them. I do try to keep up with it though. At least within like the first little bit. Ta-da! It's just like, I don't know, the YouTube platform for comments is like kind of buggy, and it always has been, and especially if like people ask me questions, usually I try to like find them and answer them, but Not always, too, at the same time. Sometimes if I've answered a question before and it's in a fairly obvious place and somebody asks it again, I'm not going to answer that kind of question, you know? But, like, yeah, I do read comments. I appreciate them. I think they're nice most of the time. I've gotten a few that I'm like, I don't know what this is trying to say, and it's kind of, I don't know, awkward. Unsolicited critique is like always my like least favorite kind of comments because I'm not asking for it, for one, and then two, also like, what kind of credentials do you have as a person to give me critique, huh? I don't know, it's just like sort of like a bizarre human experience of YouTube. It has to be the most difficult part for me. Yeah, I agree. It's just hard to get line art to look neat. Yes, this is Sarah. She is now sleeping, but she was like smug. Hi, I'm sorry. She's like, what the hell? Why'd you poke me? Do I like Hamilton? I do. I haven't listened to it for a while, but like when it first came out, I was like, bomb. Very good. Yeah, I liked it. Greta! In all caps. I mean, I used to keep like a chart and I would log my hours and then have Google Sheets added up for me. So I have decently accurate readings on some of my map parts. I know that Red Hazel Upper took me about 160 hours, I think, if I remember correctly. I didn't pay attention to how long Holy the Sea took, but it was a monster. That thing probably took me over 200 hours. It was a lot. Yeah, so I don't know. I used to keep track of all of them, and now at this point I'm just like, I know it takes me a lot of time, and that's okay. It's fine, it's whatever. If I really push myself, I can do things in less time than that, but it's like, I think it makes my quality go down, and also it makes it less of an enjoyable experience for me to try and push myself too much. So I just let it happen as it goes. Is animation hard for me? I would say no. I don't think it is. It just takes time. Does this one have his head in it? Yeah, it does. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put his ear about here. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like where it is in the previous sketch. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, honestly. I don't know what I was thinking when I drew this. How is OpenTune? I have looked in it. I have like poked at it before, but I haven't actually like tried to animate anything with it. OpenTune, in my assumption, seems a little bit closer to Toon Boom than it is to like TV Paint or Krita or Clip Studio Paint. But I also don't know that for sure. I know it like kind of bases its a frame structure layout kind of thing, like this kind of like a timeline bar is like on the side, and it's based off of an X sheet, which is an older person in animation would know exactly what that is. It's a sheet that like helps you break down your timing and plan stuff out for the Xerox artists who take your rough animation line art essentially, and then like they Xerox it off onto cells so that they can be colored. X sheets are like more of an animation relic, I think, at this point than anything else, but like somebody who has worked in animation for several years would know what those are. And so that's why Toon Boom is shaped the way it is, and why I think OpenTunes is the same way, is because bet you somebody who's worked in the industry before programmed those and was like, here's how you do it. Everybody else who's like working from Adobe Animate or Flash or things that came after those programs won't recognize that as much. It's just a different kind of like mindset and layout, so I think it's important to know if you're going to be working in 2B more, but I haven't ever, so I haven't ever tried to really understand how XSheets work. I might have to fix this eventually because I don't think that is in line with this, which is eventually where it's going. Although that might be that one. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know very much about like the actual functionality of OpenToonz. I know that it is animation software and it's open source, so it's probably similar to Krita in the fact that it like has good functionality to a point and then it encounters bugs. I haven't spent enough time with it to know what those would be though. I don't know how to do that. That's gonna be like weird. I don't know. I'll put this like this is me changing my mind about how to do her back fluff. I'll put it right there. There we go. So it goes from like being over here to over there. Yeah. Ah, I lost my spot. Maybe it's Flash as well, but it's hard to use. I don't know. I keep looking at my live dashboard and it says it's fine. Let me see stream options. Can I change it to the latency? Probably not while it's running, I would bet. I mean, the idea of ultra, what do I have it set on? Ultra low latency is to keep the chat like updated properly so that you guys can talk to me theoretically. If I'm not like stuck back here in the top of this thing. Is there any particular map part that I'm the most proud of? Which one and why? I think of the ones that are completed right now, I probably would say Holy the Sea, just because I worked really hard on that one and I think it came out and like you can tell. It looks pretty good. Is that supposed to be a fluff? I don't actually know. I think it is. I think that's supposed to be his fluff, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think I might make it his fluff. Have her shoulder go like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's my timer. I need to go change my laundry. so that I have something to wear for tomorrow. So I'm going to take a quick short break. BRB. Just to check and see if the dryer is open, and then I will be right back. Observe my cat, Sarah. She's like, where are you going? Jack, do you want in? Nope. Okay. Seriously, what the heck? I return with the cat. This is Chuck. He's a jerk. Laundry machine is still in use, unfortunately, so I don't have to wait on that. Oh, my thing turned off. Do I use normal screen tablet or do I use a screen tablet or normal tablet? I use a Intuos Pro 4, I believe, which is like a touch tablet, but it does not have a screen. It's just a regular lap tablet. I enjoy it. It's nice. I like it. You can repeat questions if I don't see them. I don't consider that to be spam. So, sorry it took me so long to get to that, but we're here now. Let's see here. This back scar is very interestingly shaped. Okay. Anybody ship after Hawk Frost? I mean, I don't really, but you do you. I keep losing my place. I keep losing my place. Oh my gosh, there's so many messages. Let's see here. I saw that. Actually, quick question. Have any of you read Sign and Thaw yet? I have not. I would prefer to avoid spoilers if possible. That's why I haven't been on Twitter for like a few days. Let's see here. There's someone who used houses that go on kitchen walls to make an animation, no joke. I don't know how you would do that or even what that would look like, but I believe it. There we go. Wait. Yeah. Better. Da-da-da. Do I like symphonic metal, like Within Temptation, Camelot, etc.? I have not specifically tried to look for that genre, and I don't recognize those artists, so maybe. I don't know. Da-da-da. Pencil 2D. Yeah. Nope. That's as good as we'll get, I think. Do any of you have Warriors of Nuno? I technically have one. I don't actually go on it anymore. I don't think I have the app even downloaded currently right now. Oh, dang it. Welcome back with the cat. Perfect. Trying to read and draw at the same time is difficult. Someday it would be cool to have like stream partners who could like read questions to me and then I could just, you know, not have to stop. But that's an idea for a pegboard somewhere. Not currently in my room. Chuck is just like generally causing trouble at all times, so it's more like, what didn't he do? Although today he's been really docile. We went outside for a little while and he kind of just like sat in one spot in the corner of the yard and stared at me, and I was like, this is what you were asking for like 4 hours, so what? So I don't know what that was about, but do I consider it spam to repeat questions if I don't see them? No. You can ask me multiple times if you like. I try to keep up, and I'm kind of just slow. Oh yeah, watching this in my Samsung fridge. You? How? How? I don't understand that sentence. Question mark. The chat isn't that far behind. The truth is, it's just that I'm slow at reading, so I back up and like try and like find all the questions I can. Now I'm like up to date, so it's updating as I'm reading. Do I think that is more of a halfway, or that this is more of a halfway between that and this? Honestly, like, this probably. Heartbreakingly nice. Oh yeah, okay, sorry, I like missed that emoji for some reason. I was like, what? What are we talking about? Are my lines making people cry? You know, I don't like doubt that it's possible to watch YouTube on a fridge, but I don't know how you would do that. I think you would have to break it somehow and then like have it access the internet. Have I ever wanted to host a map? I'm currently hosting too, so the answer to that question is yes. I still have like some work to do on the credits for Breezefeld Song, which technically has all the parts completed, but I have some animation I'm doing in the credit sequence, so I'm trying to finish that and then I will post it. That said, I'm just like super behind. And then also I have Amen, which is still in progress. I just like haven't been focusing on it for a while because I'm sort of like in life survival mode, and that's still trying to find a job that I can pay my car payment with, you know. So when I have more stable life existence state, I probably will finish those two and start another one. I hear people talking. But it's not. It looks from an angle. Ah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, I have a couple more map ideas that I want to work on when those two are done, but I just am waiting until they're done to make sure I finish them instead of just having a million uncompleted maps hosted on my channel. Hi, what? Why are you crying? What? We did a lot of things today. I played with you, we went outside, I gave you dinner. What do you need, lady? Come here. Come here. Ooh. Mm. Ah. Sarah says hi. Am I part of the LGBT community? Yes, I consider myself to be lesbian. Do I actively do anything currently right now? I don't. I have this flag that I like, and I don't have anywhere else to put it besides in my office, so it's on the wall. Da-da-da. Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Oh. Hi. She just wants to cuddle me all the time. Hi. How are you? You're a beautiful distraction. I love you. She smells kind of sweaty because she was outside. I love that smell. Do you want to sit up there? You seem kind of like concerned. Do you want to sit on your tower? You just want to be snuggled? I did not take her for a walk. I'd take her out to the backyard here because Rachel and Brandon have a pretty big backyard. And it's completely fenced, so I just let them roam around and do whatever they want. While supervised, because Chuck could definitely jump the fence if he wanted. I just don't think that he knows that he can yet. But yeah, they like to go around and sniff around the backyard and then chase squirrels and stuff. So we did that while I read the latest chapter of Defrag. So, there you go. You seem just like, sort of like, resigned to sitting in my arms. Do you even want to be up here? I'm so confused. Oh, now she struts out. Okay, now she's gonna fall asleep in my arms. This doesn't help me do art. Hey, can you sleep in your tower? If I put you up there, will you sleep? Come on. Let me put this right here. I'm gonna put you up here. Whoop. No, she says, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Cats. Oh no, no, I can't work. So sad. Hey. I love you, but I can't just hold you all night. Don't, please. No. Okay. Let me think about this. Since you're determined, I'm gonna see if I can move this back. Just push that right off my desk. There we go. Sarah strikes again. And then I can put this right here. And you can sit in my lap. How's that? Is this acceptable? No, she says she's gonna get down. I don't know if you can see her, but she's right here. Hello. I would just like work with my screen turned down like that so you could see her, but now I can't see my screen, so. Can I work now? Will you go to sleep so I can work now? You can sit in my lap and sleep. She's like, no, you must pet me. You can only pet. No work, only pet. There we go. Now we're settling. Do you mind if my hand is right here? Are you gonna try to eat my pen? What's the thought process? Do you have one? No? It's just like only pet. Oh, you do want to rub your lips on my pen, huh? Yes, she is purring. She purrs really softly, so most of the time I don't even hear it. But you are purring. Are you gonna sleep? Just trying to get you to the point where you're like, yeah, I could sleep. Because that's the point that I could work. Oh, sorry. You're just kind of like awkward right now. I love you though. I mean, if you're gonna put your head on my thing, you're gonna be moving around with my arm. Just be aware. That is how it is. I can do it. She's She's like, you stopped petting. Why? I am just a slave to this cat now. If she'll go to sleep, I can animate like this for a few hours. Go to sleep. She's like, you stopped petting me. Why did you stop? Is that enough? Did you get enough? She's like, no, more. No more. You must do more. Not so subtly dig your claws directly into my arm. Okay, fine. If I can get it up like that much, then I can see. Now she's just like laying her head on my tablet. Stop. You're impossible. Impossible. The cat puns attack. Not from the person I expected it from, to be honest. I know, it's hard because I'm working. You want to lay on my arm. She's like, excuse me, you keep moving your arm. I'm like, that's the point, though. Huh. Perfect. Yes, she is. I mean, she has her flaws. We all do. Just happens to be that her flaws are trying to murder my sister's cat on a regular basis. Other than that, you are the sweetest thing I've ever seen, huh? Well, yeah. Good job, past me, for programming those buttons correctly. I know you keep trying to get comfortable, but you're just not going to be able to lay on the arm, I'm telling you. You would have a better time face the other direction. Baby girl. I feel like I have to whisper because she's sleeping now. Which is totally not true. If you want to continue to ask me questions, I could continue to answer them and hold my cat and animate it all at the same time. It's not so bad. It's not so bad to do. How old is Sarah? She is 2 years old, I think, at this point. Ish. I got them 2 years ago in August. And then I think that she was born probably in like June or July, would be my guess. Based on her average, like, guesstimated age when I got her. May have been like May. I don't know. It's hard to tell because when I got her, she was, I would guess, about a month older than Chuck was when I got him. I got them at the same time at like a adoption event with Petco. And they were both, Chuck was like, he couldn't even really eat solid food. I had to feed him pate for about a month. Which was frustrating to me because he was so little. I don't think that he was really ready to be adopted, but, you know. Sometimes you do what you can. I kept him alive, though, and now he's, like, bigger than any other cat I've ever owned, so it worked out. She's like, why are you talking about him and not me? I mean, I don't feel like I need to poke her since I'm currently, like, moving while she's sleeping on top of me, so there's plenty of, like, movement happening while she's like, stop moving, I want to sleep on you. I've been animating since about 6th grade. When I did like flipbook animations in the corner of my notebooks and like stuff on small post-it notepads. Just like, you know, little animation tests, jumps, walk cycles. I did a flight barrel roll once in the corner of a sketchbook, and I thought that was pretty cool at the time. Let's go like that. Have that overlap a little bit. But that was back in like I would say 2006 and 7-ish. So it's been a while. But I usually cite that as like, if you really are interested in getting into animation and you don't have a computer or like a means to buy a program that will help you do animation electronically, like it's totally possible to situate a notebook or a notepad into being a little makeshift flipbook that you can animate on. That's how I started. And I honestly think like spending some amount of time learning how 2D works with like traditional paper and stuff is helpful in just understanding, I don't know, the concept of creating multiple frames and having them I know. Having them like make sense as individual drawings, but then also in like a sequence. I know little, but I promise there's a slow, slow death if you want it. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Oops. A mustache. Nah. I accidentally erased that, but I didn't want to do that. Why? We do our lovers good war. Now she's just like hovering her head above my arm, and I think sort of like protestation of the fact that I'm moving too much for her to lay down on me. Wild purring. Now I can hear her. Hey. not so bad. Sounds like somebody's listening to music upstairs. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but... Oh, she's moving around. Is that a better way to sleep? You're gonna put your chin on my tablet? Okay. Please observe my cat. How am I supposed to draw when you're doing that? She's like, I don't care, it's not my problem. Oh. Now you appear to be done. Okay, bye. I'm free. Sit on your tower. You'll be happier. Freedom. I think she got tired of me moving around too much, which is fine with me because I don't feel like stopping. Oh. Did you think you were coming back? She's like, I just grabbed something to eat. Now I'm back. And you... You don't want to pet me anymore? How dare. Now she's just sitting on a plastic bag. Looking kind of irritated. She's like, well, you didn't let me in your lap. Tacos are imminent. Tacos actually sound kind of good. I think we're having soup tonight, though. No, please don't. It is not potato soup. Sarah! No! We went outside already today. You're fine. Stop. Come over here. It is like dark outside. We don't go out after dark. But also, I don't let her into the rest of the house unsupervised because she does try to kill Milo, like legitimately. There's been some like bloody battles between those two. No. If I'm not out, she's not allowed to go out. No. Sarah. No. No. Sorry. Sure, this is like great sound quality. It's just me talking to my cat. No, Sarah. Sarah. Oh, wow. Hey. Hey. Stop. Listen. You're okay. Do you have a toy or something I can give you? Hang on. Just a minute. She's like, oh, we're leaving. No, we're not. We're not leaving. Come here. Do you want this? You want this toy? Here. Here, come here. Come here. She says no. Come here. There you go. She said no. Sarah. Mm-hmm. I really would love it if you just like Chuck took it. Chuck's like, it's mine now. You can't have it. Get it. No? I mean, you were telling me you wanted attention, so clearly. Playing what you wish to have your attention. Huh? Chuck. What happened to your stick? There it is. Here we go. See if playing with her for 5 minutes or 15 minutes will no, we'll get her to chill out. So apparently she just wants to play, which is fine. It means I can't draw though. Hey, you over here. Here's Chuck. Chuckity. Come on, Sarah. Come on, Sarah. Oh, he just landed on you. Dude, let go of that. He's like, no. Wow. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. You act like I have never ever played with you before in your entire life. Let go. Let go of it. Let go. There we go. Oop. Oh. Sierra. She's just sitting underneath me now and watching Chuck play instead. You could play with this if you were like more active. Come on. Now she's pretending like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Me and cats. Chuck. He's like, I'm gonna kill it. It's mine, I will kill it. puts it in his mouth, and he walks away with it. Like, okay, now you gotta let go. And Sarah turns her back to me and pretends like I don't exist. I'm like, I am trying to play with you. Hello. Now she's playing with a tube of paper towels instead of the toy, which is fine. If she's happy, you know, she's happy, but just gonna have to pick those up later, I guess. Here you go, dude. Take it away. It's like, okay. Intermission. Now they're playing, so hopefully they'll be playing for a little bit and not yelling at me instead. You can just hear like various noises of things being slapped around in the room. Sarah, oh, please don't tear that up. I'm glad that you're like self-entertaining, but that's not what those are for. She's like, shut up, it's mine now. You'll never get to use these paper towels for anything. They're for my mouth. Don't tear that up. Something you'll never hear from a rabbit owner ever. Are you sure? Meanwhile, Sarah. They might need more water. I'm just like so like mystified by how to own a rabbit. I've never owned any kind of rodent adjacent animal of any kind, so I don't know anything about it. One of my friends has a guinea pig, but I don't think that's the same. Better to think of them as a cat as a rodent. I would imagine so, because they seem to be more active to me than, like, I don't know, even a guinea pig. Guinea pigs seem to be just like very docile and chill. They don't do very much. But I still don't really know anything about them either, so look at me talk about things I don't know about. They are pretty chill indeed. Well, Sarah is thoroughly busy and tearing off the paper towels, so I guess those are a goner. It's fine. It was the end of the roll anyway, so it's not like it's a big loss. It's probably just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sheets. Okay. Over expensive toys. Yeah. Well, and like honestly, cats are kind of the same way too. Like they have a million toys, but the things that they like the most are a shoelace and a cardboard box that's in the closet right now. So, I don't know. I think that's just animals. They don't know the difference between an expensive toy and an inexpensive one, so they tend to do destructive things to all of them, and then, for some reason, prefer... Oh! They're gonna fight now. They play fight a lot, but occasionally they get rough, so I just have to make sure they don't get too into it. For the most part, they're usually pretty gentle with each other, but occasionally they'll get locked in a stalemate and just bite each other's faces. Which even then, sometimes they do it without any sort of like pain or problems, but occasionally one or the other will cry and I'll be like, stop it. Stop biting each other. I usually don't intervene unless they start making noise though, so as long as they're not crying, it's probably fine, right? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about this. Me redrawing the same line over and over again. And erasing it and redrawing it. Hey, bud. Now they're just zooming around the room, which is also pretty typical. Oh my goodness. Whoa! Okay. She's just having a lot of emotions right now. There they go. Hey, be nice to her. Don't bite her. Tail. Okay. Plastic bag. Sarah. Oh. Hello. Continue. Welcome to new people. I mean, we kind of stopped because I think I took a break and then like came back and we didn't continue to ask questions. But if you guys want to ask me questions while I stream, I do not mind. The cats currently have the zoomies, so you're probably going to hear them crashing around in the background. It's normal, I think. She seems especially excited tonight, though, so I'm not sure what that's about. She just did the exorcist walk, so that's fun. Oh. Don't, mister. Hey. Leave the trash alone. I thought we were getting over that again. It's just like every once in a while goes through a trash phase. And it's recurring, and I don't love it. Yeah? Getting there. Not a whole lot. I mean, you guys, it's fine if you don't want to chat, but I mean, also you can ask me questions, you can chat in the chat. I do not mind. I started animating in about 6th grade. Which for me was a long, like 14 years ago, if we're being totally honest. I'm 26 now. I think I was like 12 maybe when I first started animating. Whoa. My cats. Hey, be nice. Be nice to each other. Sarah, be nice to him. Okay, alright. Hey. Hey, you too. Do we need this? We gotta do this part? Be nice. Spritzed. They will get spritzed if they start hurting each other. That is the rule. Be nice. Chuck. You know she's heavier than you are. She can kick your ass. You gotta, like, you know, just let her have that. If there were 2 astronauts on the moon and one killed the other with a rock. God. Is that a fan fiction yet? It should be. Was I around when the Warrior fandom started on YouTube? Kind of. I mean, I, like, knew of it because I was, like, more into DeviantArt in high school, and I think that's kind of, like, around the time that Warriors YouTube started, back when Alley Cat started posting her animated music videos, and then eventually SSS Warrior Cats came out, and that was new for a while. I think when I was in high school, which was pretty cool. I was like really into it, but I didn't have an animation program at the time that I could like participate in anything like that. So mostly I was just like voyeuristically on the sidelines of the Warriors community at that point. Oh, that's his back fluff. I see. So yeah, I was like a participant, I would say, in the sense that I was active when those things came out, but not in the sense that I was creating stuff at that time. And like that's an asterisk. I did have a webcomic I was running on the Warrior Cat forums, but I didn't get very far with that, and it's still on DeviantArt if you are ever curious. But it's probably never going to be finished because I don't have time for it, and I also don't have the energy for it anymore. It was a fun story, but I don't think I'm going to finish it ever. Sarah. And I remember SSS Warrior Cats being like kind of like a really cool thing because it was like basically Warrior Cats, but also like went off script as far as the books goes, and I think because of that it was like considered to be like quote unquote new fan content and like interesting from that perspective. It was very anime. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't actually, honestly. I don't know. Just missed opportunity, maybe. I feel like Warriors was one of those things that, like, I don't know, like, some people, I think younger kids now, it's popular enough that everyone seems to know what it is. Same with the Dragon book, Dragon's books, Wings of Fire. I always forget what they're called. But, like, when I was young and when you guys were young, I don't think that, like, there was any kind of hype about it. Like, the author had, you know, come up with a pen name, Erin Hunter, and I remember part of the reasoning with that was to put her on the same bookshelf as Redwall, I think. So that when kids go to find animal books that they like reading, they'll see Warriors and they'll be like, oh man, I would like to read this weird cat book I just saw on the shelf next to my other animal books that I like reading. And, like, honestly, that's, like, how I found it. I was never that deep into Redwall. I think I read the first book, but I saw Warrior Cats, like, down the shelf, and I was like, my shit. So, I don't know. I think for a long time, it was just sort of, like, underground until fandom stuff started happening when I was in high school, and then it kind of, like, exploded with the end of the Omen of the Stars series, which is, like, kind of interesting to me because the Omen of the Stars series is not that good. It's kind of, it's fine. It's a book series, like, you can read it, but in terms of literary, like, interest, there's not a lot to it. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting to me that that was the arc where things kind of exploded. And why didn't it before then? You know. It's awful. I don't know how to leave. Basically, that's where I'm at this point. Like, I think it was really fun and interesting to read when I was a kid. And honestly, I've started rereading the first books. And they are a younger reading level book series. That's just what they are. And I think it's fine that they are that. And it's fine to look back and be like, you know what? I was a kid and I enjoyed this. But at the same time, like, it's not, like, it's nothing, I don't know, groundbreaking in terms of fiction. They're fun because they're cat books, and I think that's most of the appeal. But adults who read them now, I think, read them mostly because they read them when they were younger. And not usually the other way around. It's not often that someone finds them in their adulthood and they're like, oh wow, this is actually very good fiction and I enjoy it. You're like, I think that's why there's like a very like big nostalgic value to it, so that's why people like me are still in the fandom, is because I just like them still. I can't leave at this point. It's impossible. And like, is it necessarily not worth trying to read at this point? I don't know. I think if you wanted to get into Warriors and you were curious about what it was about, it'd be like worth taking a look into to see if it even piques your interest. But if not, like, don't feel like you have to sell yourself into 6th grade reading level cat books. You don't have to. It's fine. Most of the interest, I think, honestly, at this point comes with fandom activity, and you can understand what happens in the cat books by reading the wiki. So, I don't know, if you're ever curious about Warriors, that's my advice, ? That said, though, I feel like the most recent 2 series, the 6th and the 5th series, are very well written for their reading level, and I find them interesting. But is it worth going through 4 series of 6 books to get to there? I don't know. Is it worth it? You would have to decide. Not actually that good. No, I mean, like, they're not supposed to be. They're just, fun for kids. That's fine. I think that's honestly the reason why I don't really take that much interest in shipping in Warriors, is because it's not written well enough to be shipped, in my opinion. A lot of the relationships are just kind of like, they said hi once, and then all of a sudden they decided they were in a relationship, and then they have a family, and then they have like relationship problems, and there's never like really a good part to it for most of the relationships. Like the relationships that are considered to be good ships are like Leafpool and Sorreltail, who aren't an official relationship. They're just friends, because the friendship part of all of the cats' relationships is missing. In my opinion. Leafpool and Mothwing, which, like, I actually do like Mothpool a lot, but that's because the same reason they're written as friends, not like as relationship characters. You know? That's my thoughts on shipping with Warriors. It's fine if you ship the cats. I don't care if you do. It's not like a weird, I don't know, personal preference issue. It's just that I don't think they're written well enough to actually enjoyably ship them. So yeah, I don't know. I like the cat books, but it's because I think it's like 90% nostalgic value for me at this point. And they're fun to practice animation on because they don't have an official IP at this point in time. I think they're still working legitimately on the movie, but it may still be a while yet before we see that. And when we do, it's going to be like the CG live action, I think, if I remember correctly. Which is fine, and I think that's, you know, a fine way to like reimagine Warriors, but also I think obviously there's like a large community that loves animation, and we enjoy imagining it in this kind of a style, and so if we want that, we have to provide it ourselves. Which isn't necessarily unique to Warriors, but I think it's like one of the few things that has such a following that it does now because of the way it didn't really have a marketing presence for such a long time, and then all of a sudden we all decided we're just going to make what we wanted for ourselves, and then HarperCollins was like, wait a minute, people are making stuff based off of our books, why aren't we doing this? And so yeah, it was, yeah, I don't know, I think a rare case of the fan content preceding any official content. Usually that's not the way it works. Warriors is one of the very few things that I've seen have it work this way. Really misogynistic series despite all the authors being women. I have always felt that way, and I had just like I've held it in. Yeah. It's because Warriors is a gateway to being a furry, and furries have strange abilities. Yeah, I mean, like, probably, but also many series are like that. Like Redwall is like that, Guardians of Ga'Hoole is like that, and they don't have the same kind of like online presence that Warriors does, you know? Like, it's just interesting to me. It's kind of very unique. I have no idea what we're talking about. It's fine. You don't have to know. You could even mute it and not be distracted by the cat facts. What emotion am I best expressing at when drawing? Do you mean like when drawing emotions, or just like when sitting here and like emoting in my face? Oh, okay. I don't know. I think it depends. I feel like with cats I have shorthand for what most emotions are. If I was to like try and decide what my favorite thing to draw is in like human characters, I don't know, probably anger, maybe sadness though. Do a lot of both of those. I don't know why, but for some reason, like, Ashford's Drive-By doesn't get a lot of views anymore, and so I think people, like, forget that that's something that's on my channel. Which is fine. I mean, you don't have to, I don't know. It's kind of old at this point. It doesn't need a lot of views, but it's funny to me when people are like, wait a minute, and then connect the dots. I'm like, yes, that was the first quote-unquote official animation thing I did on Warriors. Which at this point, like, I don't know, I was at one point going to try and like finish it completely myself, but I've kind of abandoned that idea, and if I do want to finish it, I think I probably would make it a scripted map, using the original video as storyboards. But that's still an idea that's like in the distance. It's not gonna happen this year, probably. Yeah, well, and like also I feel like with the maps that I take, map parts that I take, I try and like to match my style to the creators as much as I can. Because that's like typically what animation professionals do. They try to make their signature quote-unquote style not exist. So that's usually my thought process between doing stuff like this. Oh, that's his. My bad. My favorite map part to work on, honestly, I don't know. Like, I have ones that I'm more proud of than others, and not necessarily because I don't think I don't work hard on all of the map parts I do, but like, I still really, really like, Ready As I'll Ever Be. I still really, really like, my brain died. It'll come to me, give me a second. Holy the Sea part. Too much fluff, can't keep track. No, I can't. And I think, I don't know, it's in terms of most viewed, I think that one is my most viewed at this point. I haven't checked between it and Ready As I'll Ever Be, but I'm pretty sure they're close if it's not surpassed again. I still really like that one, and I think it was a lot of fun to work on. It's 7? How is it only 7? Who even knows? But like besides those two just being like the most viewed ones that I've done, like I still really like the gray stripe map that I did, which I don't think most people even know that I did. That was one of the songs from I can't words anymore. They're gone. That musical. I can see the image in my head, but I can't actually tell you what it was called. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna look it up. Man, I can't kill. Maybe it was 16. Was it that really old, really? Yeah, okay, La La Land. Gosh dang, why couldn't I not have remembered the name of that movie? I still like that map part. Say no. That's okay. I feel like animating is one of the only things that keeps me out of like a full-on depression right now, so I'm gonna keep doing as much as I can. Especially since we are heading straight headlong into seasonal depression season for me. I got like until April. I gotta survive. I know, I wish I had that kind of seasonal affective disorder, but mine is definitely very like the world ends in about late January and then I don't come back to life until about April. And like, I don't know. This fall has been super weird because in Colorado we had a couple of really early hard snowstorms, which is not completely atypical for the region, but it's just weird for me because I'm not from here, one, and then number two, it killed all of the leaves on the trees, so we didn't really have a fall. It just stayed sort of like greenish gray and then they fell off. So this fall has been like kind of sad and depressing, to be honest. It is not quite still snow. It was like 60 degrees today, so a lot of the like stuff in the sunshine melted. There's still some spots in the shade that are snowy, but for the most part, I think we should be okay for a little while. His head looks too small here, in my opinion. Change my mind. I'm gonna move this out to about there. Yeah, it's Buffalo's design where she just like doesn't even have a left ear, I think. And there's also like not necessarily a mark or a hole in the spot where it used to be. Yeah, it's gone. Which I mean, like, not, I don't know, quote unquote realistic, inaccurate, but I think for an animation design it's fine. No, I haven't had time. And to be honest, I was like trying to learn JavaScript because part of the issue is that I was taking like an hour to export individual color shots for the Picrew website. And I know that there's a way to automate that process. I just don't know what it is yet. And so the brief searching that I tried to find on it didn't really turn up anything that's already been written. So I was like, well, I guess I have to write it myself. And then I was like, I'll learn JavaScript. And then I was like, I don't have time to learn JavaScript. So I have not made any progress on that since September. And part of the problem is that it's like I had to buy a car, and then I had to freak out about buying a car, and then I had to ask my boss to give me a raise, and he was like, no. And then now I'm trying to figure out how to move to Washington. So that's another one of those projects that I'm like, if I ever have more time, I'll finish that probably. But until then, You know. It's fine. I still need to ask them like what their rent rate is and like try and figure out what I should be looking for. But they have a room and they're interested in like letting me live there, so. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably like the most likely thing to happen at this point. I also have a couple of friends in California that are trying to help me find a job there, but honestly, like, it's really hard to do any sort of networking from another state. Like, I honestly wish I had the money to buy a plane ticket and go to CTN here in a couple of weeks, but I don't. And I could drive there, but that would also be expensive. So, for now, I think, you know, it's okay. You gotta make do. Which question? No, I don't know. You might have to ask it again. Uwu or uwu? I don't know what that means. And what the difference would be. In real life. Take an attack. You can hear me typing. Yeah, I still don't understand the difference. Like, they're both woo. I don't know what specific emotion they're trying to convey, but I think maybe you decide which one that is. Really? It's about what I have. Not even really that much, so we'll see. And also a car payment. It's a great time. I don't know, 2 months is really just like not honestly that much time. Stresses me out. Whatever, it's fine. Bombs, the bombs. I am drawing, and mostly just that. Also answering questions. If you want to ask me questions about anything, you know, I've answered questions from the basic animation questions to like weird personal life questions. Have at it. I have no shame. Hopefully, we'll see. Would I ever be anyone's mentor? I don't know. Maybe in the future, if I get to a point where like I have professional experience where I can like actually quote unquote be a mentor. I don't know that like I qualify at the point I'm at right now. To be totally honest. And also, like, I don't know, there's part of me that's like, if I'm considering that, like, I should probably also be considering, like, being a professor. Because I think that honestly would not be a terrible job. It's not the most, like, I don't know, lucrative job, to be honest, but it's probably not that much lower than what most people make in animation anyway, if you're not, like, a technical artist. So, I don't know. Maybe someday. Not right now, because I don't really have time, A, and B, I don't know that I'm really qualified. Have any good animation advice from a god to a starter? Okay, number one, I am not God. Holy shit. I don't know, just, I think it helps, honestly, to have, like, a more specific question that you're looking for advice for. Like, I always point people to the 12 principles of animation if you've, like, literally never done animation at all before. And I have a link to that in the description of my stream, if you're interested. Because that just like goes over the basic principles of timing and spacing and squash and stretch and like if you've heard those terms before but you don't know what those are, you should probably look into learning what those are. And the link I have is just like a short little overview video that talks about it, but there's also plenty of like more in-depth detailed things for specific aspects if you're looking for it. So there's that. Yeah. And like honestly, like a lot of the fun part of animation just comes from experimentation. And like practicing, learning to figure out how it gets from, you know, your first animation ever tried, which can be choppy. I remember mine were not like particularly amazing in any way. What is going on with this? Oh, it's her other leg. I got it. But yeah, just practice like helps you understand like how to get things spaced correctly so that it feels less choppy and more like they're holding a pose or like they're moving between a pose or that kind of stuff. I have a very important link. If it's not good enough, I will do the stream if you request it. I don't know what we're talking about. What kind of link? I do not just accept random links. And I'm not about to start. I like this song. It's an important picture. What does that mean, though? You may make me gifts if you like. Yeah, I don't know. You can send them to me on Twitter or DeviantArt. Babies! Look at these buns. Taking a fry from McDonald's. I mean, I don't know. I like cats? Question mark. You may draw an orange and a black cat. Those are the cats that I have. Yes, no feedback question. When did I eat last? I had a bagel around 4. Dinner should be ready, I think, in probably an hour. We eat really late for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Wow. What is my favorite Warrior Cats character? That's gonna be Hollyleaf. Is my favorite because I love her. She's terrible. I love her. I have lots of favorites. I think you probably would understand that I do like Reese Pelt a lot. I think he's not a good person, but I like him as a character. I feel like I have to like make that delineation often. And that's not to like, I don't know, bash on people who honestly genuinely really like him as a character and think that he is a good person. You know, it's whatever. I just don't think that he is. And then my favorite clan is Wind Clan. I just like I've always liked it. So when I identify with the most. I just lisped. I've never lisped in my life, but I just lisped. The noblest cats. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think they're pretty decent. am really enthralled by Maple Shade's story. I don't really like her as a character. But I think she's interesting. Darktail's cool. My favorite villain probably is Maple Shade, if I'm honest. If Reese Pelt actually like became a villain, I think he would be my favorite. And like for a while there he kind of was, but I don't know. They seem pretty convinced on this like redemption arc they have going. I honestly like, okay, so I do actually really like One Star. There's a song that I want to do a 1-star map to, and most people are like, why would you ever want to do anything for 1-star? And I'm like, because he's interesting. He's terrible and I like him. Why does this sound familiar? Because it is. I feel like One Star's an interesting character, but though, because he goes from being a 100% background character with no personality at all and like no ambitions as far as you could tell to being the leader of his clan. And like that part of his character arc no one ever really talks about anymore. because once he became a leader, he became a complete jackass. And I just like, it's very interesting to me. You take somebody who is like apparently super quiet and doesn't have a personality, and then suddenly he's like a huge jerk. And I think honestly, if I were to write any sort of like in like character, I don't know, I wouldn't say like specifically fanfiction, but if I was going to do like exploration on his character, I think honestly it makes sense for him to be an asshole if you take into consideration that he probably has some like security issues, especially with the whole coup with Mudclaw. And so now he has like a authority / superiority complex with the rest of his clan because no one ever took him seriously until it was like basically too late, and then by that point he just had to be a huge jerk. I think I like Wing Clan the most because, like, out of all of the clans, I think they have the most mental illness, if we're gonna be honest. Like, you have, 1-star with insecurity issues, and then you have Crowfeather with very, very clear depression. And you have Breezepelt, who has, you know, also similar insecurity issues. I feel like Wind Clan is just like the bad mental health clan, and I find that relatable. There was a PMV part I was going to do for Wings of Fire, and I still like technically want to do it. I just have been swamped by everything. And have felt more, I don't know, pressure, honestly, from the Warriors map community than from the Wings of Fire map community, and so I haven't spent any time trying to work on that part, even though I still do technically want to finish it. It was of Mudwings, and I like Mudwings. Is it dinner time?
Dinner's ready!
Dinner's ready! Okay. I'm gonna finish this frame then, and I'm gonna go eat dinner. Food! Who's my favorite ship in Warriors? I'm gonna be honest, I really do not ship the cats. I just don't think that they're written well enough for that, to be perfectly frank. If I was gonna like pick a character interaction that like felt shippy to me, it would probably be like Leaf Sorrel. But that's honestly just because they're good friends, and that's the only sort of like shipping that Warriors has, is friendships. Other ships that I think are actually pretty valid. Fire Gray. Because again, they're friends. And the emotional interaction that you get between those two characters is more real than you get between, like, I don't know, Ivy Pool and Fernsong. Even though I like Fernsong, I like him as a character, but, like, do we ever see them interact in any sort of, like, emotional way? No. So, it's hard to ship them. A gift. Which death was the saddest for me? Honestly, I freaking cried over Hollyleaf. I was mad about that. But like in terms of like saddest written death that I felt the impact the most of, for some reason I feel like Silverstream's death is just incredibly sad. I remember that being my favorite book out of the original arc for the longest time, just because of, you know, the way that they make Silverstream's death such an impact, and the way that it like carries over into how Graystripe feels after that. Like he goes through a period of like significant loss and depression, and it's hard. And it's interesting to me because there's not a lot of deaths, it seems, these days that affect the cats that much. Like, you could argue that the amount of impact that quote-unquote Nightcloud's death in Crowfeather's trial had gets close to that, but it's interesting because she doesn't actually die, one, and then on top of that, like, I don't know, it's just, you never really see interaction between those characters until, like, after she's gone, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, you guys sucked at being a family, huh? That's why you're hurting so bad. And, like, it's just, I don't know, it's interesting to me that, like, cats that seem to have very, very deep relationships don't seem to mourn each other when they die very much. Which, I don't know, goes back to the writing for me. There's not many deaths these days that make me legitimately sad. I don't know, yeah. And then, like, I guess the most recent one that I, like, really felt, would probably be Briarlight's death. And I'm not entirely sure why. That one was just, like, written really well. She had a pretty big impact on her clan despite having a disability, and I think that was, like, a good way to show that she mattered. I think your English is just fine, except for the wolf. And yeah, lots of effort goes in. I have no idea what hour we're on at this point, and it's been too many. But, I mean, we're almost halfway done with lining this specific shot, so there's that. Right, I kind of like go back to that from time to time, and I think honestly it's kind of, I don't know, cheapens the effect of being a leader at this point because they live so long. Because I thought, I don't know, in the Prophecies Begin arc, it made sense to me that they had so many lives because they died so often. If you ever wanted to have any sort of impact as a leader, you would need 9 lives because you're constantly, you know, facing dangers that are larger than any of the cats in your clan could possibly handle, and so you die a lot. That was the idea, I thought, and now that just, like, doesn't happen anymore. So you have cats like Bramblestar, who, I don't know, he hasn't actually been leader that long, but he's been alive forever. So I don't know. I wish, honestly, cats would die more, but that's just me. Yeah, they legitimately, like, they die and they come back to life. That's, like, the big reveal in the first book, I think. When Firepaw goes to the Moonstone with Blue Star, she dies and then comes back to life. Okay, so I think that's probably gonna be about where we stop tonight. I'm gonna turn on all these layers so that it will lag, and then we'll watch it. We need Graystripe, we need Mousefur, we need Longtail, and we need Cinderline. Okay. Pause that. Turn this on. Oh wait, hold on. Need this to be that. So that at least you can see it, theoretically. Okay. Boop. Yeah, so yeah. That's what I have so far, which is like, I don't know, not a whole lot considering how much I actually have to work on in this part. So we'll be doing this for probably until January, at least. It's fine. Anyway, thanks guys for coming to the stream and participating and asking questions and stuff. I think you're great, and I'm gonna go eat my dinner now. See you later.